All right, all right, all right. Hey, well, what's going on, everybody? Happy evening. Happy evening. Is that a word? Welcome, 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 guys. Give me a big wave if you can see me right, or if you're not in camera, put a 5 in the chats below. Welcome. Today, specifically, this is our Warrior Movement new partner onboarding. So we're going to help you get launched. We're going to help you, like what Celine was saying, really get oriented so that you are able to take advantage of the systems at hand. If we haven't met yet, my name is Zheng. I've been with the drop since they first came out like 13 years ago, Chairperson 2 in this. And all that means is I've been through a lot, I've seen a lot, and I failed a lot. But what that also means is the things that we've seen succeed and work, really work. And that's what we want to give to you as well, too. All right. One thing I learned early on in my business career, I've been in this profession for 15 years now. Kind of crazy to think about that. But one of the first things that I learned, if you want fast speed, who here is here because you want to grow as quickly as possible and you're busy? Yeah. Gail's like, I can't waste no time, right? Is I learned a secret, and the secret was this, is that if you find a mentor, your odds of success increase by 500%. You find a mentor, you increase your odds of success by 500%. So that could be in anything in life. But imagine with your financial goals here in Partner Co, whether that's retiring your spouse or retiring yourself or traveling the world or whatever that it is, imagine instead of 5 years, it takes 1 year. And that's why you are one of the smartest people on the planet for being on here tonight, because you're raising your hand saying, hey, I believe it's important to learn and to grow and everything. There's a saying that you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So welcome to the family. You picked a really good place to get started with and everything. All right. So what I want to walk you through today are those basics and those essentials on what you really need to launch out with, I believe, the best system on the planet. I believe the best system in the world to helping the average person be able to start to do extraordinary things. All right. And what does that actually mean? Well, I want you to really envision up front is this launch isn't just going to be for you, but this launch is going to be for hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of people. All right. And I remember getting started in my business thinking it was impossible to even get someone started. Let's be honest, was anyone here a little bit afraid, a little bit hesitant, a little bit nervous in getting started? Like, what am I doing? Like, is anyone going to say yes? Am I the only crazy one, you know? But when you learn the skills, when you learn the system, the thing about a system is it duplicates. You can get the very same result. If you could do it once, you could do it over and over and over again. Thanks for your guys' transparency, right? And that's why we're going to do it together. That's why you're wise to be on here. But if you do something long enough and it's something that's duplicatable, guess what? But before you know it, you're going to see how your business takes on a different life. I was this last year, just for example, we had a month where in this entire organization, we had 6,000 new partners get started in 1 month. When before I could barely get one person started. And obviously that's not all myself, and it's an amazing team and so many things. But why did I bring that up? Because if you have the right philosophies and you have the right systems in place, and then you give it some time, it might not be overnight. I also want to give you an expectation. Everyone's going to grow at different paces, right? Some are going to be like that hare that jump out of the gates and they're going like chairperson 5,000. And you're like, wow, how'd they do that? And then you might see others where, or maybe you feel this way, we feel like, man, am I the tortoise? Am I the one that's just like taking forever or something? Does anyone feel like you relate more to the tortoise than the hare? You're the turtle, you know? But if you know the story is the turtle wins. Okay. Now, I will say, I have learned there is such a thing called a turbot. A turbot is a tortoise and a rabbit. All right, let's take both of them together here, right? So yes, take your time, but hurry up too. So we're gonna do things exactly how it needs to be for you to be accomplished. And I'm telling you this, I just had a recent, just to share this story. This is not to boast, but I just want to encourage you all because I'm sitting here. I'm in an airport. It's actually getting really hot in here because I'm in this phone booth box thing in a lounge. I'm about to travel to Australia. I see Lucia. She's out in Australia right now. There's a big Partner Co Connect event. Events are important, by the way. So we have a big one in North America in Dallas in September that's coming up. But I've been asked to speak, and we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna meet the team, and hopefully I'll pet some kangaroos or something. I don't know, but we're going out there, and it's like, wow, I can't believe this is happening. But earlier today, we were going over our tax returns with our accountant, and right now it's tax season. Is anyone else doing your taxes now, or you're like thinking about it, right? And I kid you not, because our accountant's been with us for like a long time, right? He was doing the accounting. Last year was a really good year. And he said this at the end, and he's really a straight shooter. He's like, did you start different businesses or something? This can't be the same business as what you've been doing, right? No, we're like, yeah, it's that drops thing. Like, no, this is impossible. Like, what? Like, he was mind blown because when you do this and it explodes, it's powerful what happens. And I just want that for you. And totally, I know if it could happen for us, it can happen for you. Honestly, probably faster and better as well, too. All right. So with that, let me go through some of these essentials here. And whether you're brand new, fantastic. This is going to be really helpful for you. Our goal ASAP is to help you launch your business. Okay. If you are not brand new, then the goal is this. I want to encourage you and challenge you. Every Tuesday, we do a call like this. Continue to challenge yourself and think, all right, I'm going to master this further, but I'm also going to challenge myself. I'm going to bring more new people onto this too. Who here would love it if someone like me can launch your people with you instead of you just doing it by yourself, right? It's a lot easier that way. So that's why I want to give these different types of opportunities. So these 23 lines will turn into hundreds and turn into thousands, and that's how it is, all right? Okay, so let's go through a couple of things. So to orient ourselves, we're going to walk through this warrior movement system here. The first thing that you're going to want to make sure that you have is this. Is we have a website called wellness360.community. If you haven't been here yet, be sure to bookmark this one. And this has all of our handy stuff, like all of our websites, all of our resources. We have a lot of things that we've built with you so that you can utilize for your business. For example, we do all of our business trainings. We have what's called the Champions Network YouTube channel. So if you go here, you can actually see all of the different trainings that we have organized and everything so that you can actually catch any of them, share any of them as well too. All right. So we always want to make sure that you have readily available information that's there. Okay. So if you ever miss something, just go to the Champions Network YouTube. You might want to subscribe if you're not already. And we have a lot of good things. Guys, even my mom, she drove me to the airport here. And she joined, but she's not really building the business. But she watches every single training. And literally today, she was like, man, James, or son, or whatever she calls me, she's like, that training this morning was really good. I'm so glad it's on YouTube. She's like, watch it, so you never know who's going to be watching there. So be sure to grab that down. I won't be going through that YouTube today, but what we do want to do is the most important step. Okay. Launching your business, we have built out an onboarding step-by-step system that when you click on this bouncing orange thing, all right, share, it's hard to miss. It's bright orange and it's bouncing here. You go in this, and this will actually take you to what's called the Alice bot. All right. Some of our amazing leaders, Liz and Tiff, they're automation experts. And they built this where it'll lead you step by step through how to get your links, how to set up your subscription, how to ultimately do an important thing called a launch post. We'll get back to that one in just a bit. But you just simply put in your password, which is champion. And as you go into this, it'll walk you through step by step with everything. All right. Why is this important? Who here would love it if one day tens and hundreds and thousands of people join your business really quickly, right? Yeah, Gil's like, I'm ready. At that point, it's kind of hard to just walk them all one by one. So imagine you can all plug them into this system and then they can just start to duplicate that, right? So it's meant to leverage your time so that you can always have a consistent effort with someone else, right? So utilize that. Okay. What that'll ultimately lead you to, so your homework, if you haven't done this yet, walk through Alice and everything. So it'll walk you through all the cool stuff. It won't take too long, but you're going to learn a lot through that process. But what you do want to do is ultimately step number 5 is going to link you into what's called our boards, right? So back on this links page, step 5, you get here, and it'll get you onto boards. This is gold, okay? Has anyone ever been scared to think, what do I post on social media to build business? Or what do I say when someone's interested? What do I say when they have a question? What if they ask me a really detailed question on the product and I'm like, I don't know what to say, right, Selena? Well, don't worry. We have it all for you. Boards, it's a free app. It's literally scripts right on hand for you, okay? So on the Warrior Movement board specifically, you can read these different things, but we're going to go into the drops that you sell. We lead with the drops, okay? And the reason we lead with the drops is because what we found is the fastest way to duplicate and scale is focus on one simple thing that people can start to get to know you for. And then when they come in, they walk out with like tons of products, okay? By the way, if anyone's using more than one product from Partner Co, throw in the chat around how many do you usually take per day, per week? Like, I probably take 10, 20 products every day, right? Yeah, 10. Pam says 14, Diane says 13, right? You're gonna love all the products, but start with mastering one and it gateways them in. And once they're in, they can get expanded and exposed to the rest of the information, right? Shauna says 12 to 20. What's up, Shauna? Great to see you. Shauna's a superstar here. Yeah, a lot, right? So as you go into these boards, then let's say we're selling the drops. Oh, let me go back a little bit. What you'll see here, and this is, you'll see that we'll give you the social media posts. So let's say post on social media. There's a board called the 7-day launch. Now we have multiple team boards. They all kind of look like this. All right. We share stuff. We have similar things. On this, we actually have a really cool tracker. Is anyone here the type that you like to check things off? Like you like to write a, yeah, Gail's like, that's me. So you might want to print out this tracker and it'll help walk you through, oh, this is what I should do in my first 7 days. Right. And you just go boom, 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 and do that. So let's see day number 1, right? So we're going through that onboarding. And then we want to do what's called the launch post. I'll go over that in just a bit. Engagement sandwich. This is huge. I'll explain that. And then you're going to pin your launch post. These things are so crucial. Let me explain what those do, okay? Your launch post, if you go to day 1, it says pick what's called the pin post. There's some amazing videos by Cindy and Lindsay. They created so many of these boards and so many of these scriptings. They have built, just so you know where a lot of the system came from, Cindy and Lindsay built an organization with 25,000 people and did over 50 million of sales. So they're masters of scale and duplication. Yeah. So what they just discovered is on social media, we're going to train you how to have Facebook like you and make you money. Who's okay with it? Right? Instead of watching other people going on social media and making money, you're going to have money in your pocket. Instead of feeling like no one looks at your posts except for your family, for me, it's my mom. Thanks, Mom. She literally likes every one of my posts. You're actually going to have prospects look at your posts, okay? How? Well, one thing that you are going to do is there's things called a pinned post, color block post. On Facebook, these are posts that register differently with the algorithm. So when you type in, maybe you've done this before. By the way, put in the chat if you know what I mean by a color block, put a 1 in the comments. If you don't know, which is okay, put a 2 in the comments. Awesome, Gail. You're great. So color blocks are these posts where you type it in and Facebook makes it like an image. So this isn't an image you copy paste, you're typing it in and then it actually registers. Color block posts have more engagement on social media. It's just been proven to be that way. So our goal is to have more people look at what you're doing so they can inquire about your business and product, or you're going to track customers. So in this board, we've given you a bunch of different options that are proven to attract customers. So grab whichever one makes sense for you. I'm looking at this one, for example. And what we're going to do is we're going to post this, and that's what you call your launch post. Okay. Before that, though, critical piece. Okay. Put sandwich in the chat if you're still with me. Sandwich. Yep. The eating thing. Sandwich. How do you spell sandwich? Yeah. W-I-C-H. Sandwich. Doesn't it kind of look weird, guys? Have you ever looked at a word long enough and you're like, that's weird? Which sandwich? Yeah. Okay. So the sandwich is super important because if you've ever wondered, why is it that it seems that some people don't look at my post? Remember how social media works is it rewards you by being social. Yeah. So you're going to see some people, when they make their post, they're going to get lots of traction. More than likely, they've been social on their Facebook for a while, so they're going to get a lot of love on their post. If you're someone like me, and I barely knew how to post on social media when I got started, and I barely even knew what a profile photo was, and I'm like, what is a sandwich? What is a color block? Well, it might take you a little bit longer, but I'm not going to say a long time. Give it a couple weeks. And if you do this sandwich, you will see how your algorithm will flip, and you're going to start getting more new people to your post and everything. Okay. What's a sandwich? Before you make any post that you want someone to see, you want to first go on your social media feed, and you want to go to 10 of your people, your friends that are not in PartnerCo. So these are potential prospects. And you want to like and comment on their posts. So if I see Mike Vu post something as he's walking, for example, I might post something like a selfie, and I want to attract his attention, I'm going to go to his Facebook feed. I'm going to like and comment something meaningful, right? Then I'm going to keep on going down and do that for 10 people. Second, then I'm going to go to the top called the stories. The stories are the things that disappear after 24 hours. I'm going to also engage on 10 different people on their stories. So love on them, like them, comment on them. The cool thing when you comment on a story, by the way, is your message goes directly into their messenger chat. So they see your message. So it kind of flags them. Okay. So imagine, Gail, you are talking with 20 people and you're just engaging with them. Guys, remember, all business is conversation. That's it. Yeah, you don't have to try to sell anything. You don't have to pitch anything. You just have to connect. Why? Well, you do that sandwich. Aim to do it, take 15 minutes and do as much as you can. All right. Put 15 in the comments below. Take 15-minute blocks of time. This is how you do the business. Most of us might not have hours where we can just sit down, but take 15 minutes. Eric, between his client and his chair, can spend 15 minutes and start engaging on people. Okay. Then you want to make your post. So as you make your post, let's say you choose this one and it's now on your social media. Okay. These work. I have my post here and I've left it up for a long, long time. So I'm just using the posts that are in here. People are going to start asking you questions. They're going to say, I want information. What is it? Let's take a look. So, boom. All right. I have Axel. He says, yes. Now what do we do? Okay. Well, first, you want to go back. And remember, it's a sandwich. So we want to also engage 10 people after you post on the feed and 10 people on the stories as well, too. Okay. So 20 people before, 20 people after, that's a sandwich. You want to do this with every single business post that you do. Okay. Now, what do? I think Adriana asked a question, how long is it safe to keep up a pin post? You can keep your pin post up forever. Yeah. This is going to be your number one thing in the billboard. All right. Now what? Well, in your respective boards, there's going to be some type of replies. There's going to be some response scripts. In the Warrior Movement boards, that'll be reply to post engagement. So let's say we have two ways to sell. Some people like to sell with product on hand. So they buy in bulk and then they resell, which is awesome. Some they like to sell online through links. Let's just use links, for example. They both work. They're both fantastic. All right. Let's say they only liked your post, but they didn't comment. Have you guys had that before? They're just kind of like clicking it. You're like, what does that mean? You know, are you interested or yeah? What is that? Okay. Well, you can say something like this. Hey, thanks for liking my post about the drops. Were you just being supportive or were you interested in more information on the drops? You just open the door. It's a yes or no. It's okay. Let's say they want information. All right. Well, now you send them into the messenger and there's a response script and it'll explain the product. Say, Gail, thanks for asking about the drops. I'm going to chunk 3 times a day, bounce your hormones, suppress appetite, blah, 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 all that. Here's a video. We link them to a website. So this is called the machine link. It's kind of cool because it both gives information about the product, but also it has an email grab. So if they put in their email, this is so cool, guys. Like no one has this. But who here would love it if someone else could help follow up on your behalf for your prospect rather than you trying to quote unquote bug them all the time? That was a big thing for me. I didn't want to bug people. I don't want to feel like I was spamming them or just trying to sell them or something like that. All right. First, follow up is professional. So it's not weird. It's professional. However, if they put in their email, they also are now in 10 days of automated email sequence. So every day it drips a little bit about the drops and it gets them super excited. I've heard so many stories of people coming back to their sponsor and the prospect's like, hey, what are those drops again? And then they get to talking like, how'd you hear about this? They're like, oh, I got that email today. It's just another way to gain exposure. All right. So you have that and we're good. Okay. So this ends with a buy-in question. You always want to end with a question, by the way. You're leading the conversation. You're asking, is this something you're interested in? Okay. They say yes. I go to script number 2. I can help you with that. It's either this much for a month supply or there's a promotion. Here's the magic, guys. This is how the duplication starts to happen. Is that when you have the promotion, it's now upselling them to a bigger package. Would you want to save half? Or are you okay with just having one? People buy savings. All right. So they might be like, oh, I want to know how to save. Okay. I go to the next script. They ask how to save or get the drops for free. I send them this message. Feel free to customize these a little bit, like make them your own. But yeah, Adriana got to write the 4-pack. This will bring them back to that website, which, by the way, if they click on Get Your Drops Paid For, Cindy has a really good video, 3 minutes, that upsells people to become a brand partner. Lisa asked, is it a customer? This will be a brand partner, actually. This video will convert them to be an enrolled brand partner and they're activated. But here's the key. We don't just want to enroll them just to give them a savings. Who here wants to enroll partners that actually have the intention of selling as well too? Like you don't just want like an elevated, right, customer. How does that work? Well, let's say they want the 4-pack. Well, what's great about this, in this message, if you see, it says, I'll show you exactly how you can share these to your social media and quickly sell them. So we're already giving them that language and that expectation. You're going to want to see this. All right. So with that, there we go. Okay. Then, depending on what they say, they want 1 or they want a 4-pack, you can go through the rest of the scripts and it'll show them how to get started. Here's another pro tip. If you want super fast speed, this is how I learned how to really communicate and do this business. I remember when I first got started, for some reason, I thought I was pretty egotistical, even though I never did anything like this before. And I thought that I could explain the product and the business better than anyone else, even though I never really did much research. That's called ego talking. So I remember I went up to my first prospects, my best friends, and I tried to convince them why this was the best thing since sliced bread. 5 minutes in, fumbling, sweating, nervous, messing everything up. I don't even know what I said. Gibberish. They were not only just a no, they were a hell no. They were like, you're in a scam. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could do this. That's the only friends I have. By the way, everybody here is more than enough people to talk to. Okay. And if not, you'll just plug into the training. You'll continue to see there's more and more. We're going to teach you different ways to be able to expand your list and everything, right? Then I went to training. And what my mentor told me is, hey, if you have questions or your prospect has questions, one of the best ways to answer it is get them connected with someone else, a third party. The power of third-party validation. Pam, that's a great question. I'm still new. I'd love to introduce you to my friend, Sherry. She's used the drop. She has a phenomenal result with this. Like, she'll answer some questions. Let me put you in a chat. Let me put you on a call. 3 ways are powerful. They get on and they just share their story and they're going to answer the question. You got to learn while you earn, because your prospect's going to get educated and more than likely they're going to buy as well too. So when in doubt, leverage. We have so much help. You don't have to do this by yourself. Okay. Be a good messenger. And I love those opportunities because you can learn your best. And eventually you're probably going to get to a point where you're like, oh, I'm going to keep on saying the same thing every single time. I think I might say that. All right, cool. And then you got it. Then you'll be totally fine. Okay. So with that, next thing you know, you're going to be like Shauna Carroll, who's enrolling like 13 people in last month. And whenever she talks, people just buy, right? But how about you? Until I get to that level, I'd love a Shauna Carroll to talk to my people for me, right? So connect them to your coaches, your mentors. We have so much support and you will be able to get those answered. All right. So we have those and we have a lot of different scripts. I'd encourage you, you're going to learn as you use them. Use these as opportunities just to learn and to glean and to just see what else there is, right? These are meant to be like good starting blocks and everything. But let me go to another thing here, because we not only just want to get them started, the success is in their success. Success is not them buying. Success is not in them joining. Success is them succeeding. So how do you succeed? How do you help them? Well, if you're using this boards, then there's a support folder. So go to one that says supporting new customers and brand partners, and either their customer or a brand partner. Brand partner, there's a message here you can send, and it'll get them right back to the tip of the spear where we all started together. So help them get through the same process so that they can duplicate this. Really cool. But let's go to the customer. The customer, how much do you have to support them? Do you have to be their health coach? Do you have to like be there every day and check on them? I don't know about you, but we're all pretty busy people. So you don't necessarily need to be that hands-on. You do want to plug them into the customer support group. For the Warrior Movement, that's Wellness 360, but plug them into the group so there's community. But every week, you want to check in with them. So for example, when you get someone started, there's a starter message that we send them. And it's like, hey, here's how you use the drops, basically. I'm going to check in with you. Every week, there's a follow-up message. So let's say week number 1, super simple. I'm going to check in. Gail, hey, what are you liking the most about the drops so far? Are you sleeping, feeling more energetic, having less anxiety? You are prompting them to give you a positive answer. They say like, I feel great, you know, I feel fantastic. All right, good. And then we'll go to the next step. Adrian had a question. How do I know when they get for the first time their products? Best way, I'd either ask them, or usually it takes just 3 to 5 business days since when they order. So you can pretty much know that they're going to have their product pretty soon. If you want, you can get their tracking information. If you go to your back office, you can go to orders. And under orders in your back office, you can see both your own personal orders and your tracking information. But you can also see your personal customers and their tracking information as well too, which is kind of cool. Okay, so the orders tab. Put orders in the chats if you're still with me. Very, very handy, very helpful. All right. Yeah. So you can see a lot of cool things there. But yeah. Yeah. And like what Sunny said, I usually tell them to let me know when they get the product. That's exactly what that script says as well too, but they'll have it. All right. So they're going to start giving you some responses. But here's the key. What's our goal? A happy drops customer should become a partner. A happy drops customer should become a partner. We convert around half of our customers into brand partners. Why? I mean, if you're getting good results on the product, who wouldn't mind getting them paid for? And they all know somebody, right? It's like a simple way to do it. So most people do get started through as a customer. And within even the first week or two, they start getting excited and they're like, wow, I might know some people that can help. Well, we have some scripting here that can help with this. So let's say it's week 2 or beyond, or the first win. Let's say they give you a good result. You might say something like this. Hey, congrats on your amazing results. I want you to start thinking about how you can get these drops at a discounted rate or even free next month. Are you open to watching a quick 3-minute video on how it works? And they're like, sure, free discount. Free is the best price. All right. Doesn't matter how much money you make. Free is always good. Let's say they say yes. Guess what you do? You then just go back to that other post that we have. Remember, we had that one that talked about how to save money and how to get drops for free. So it'll direct you to go back to that other script that we had and link them to that same 3-minute video with Cindy McKnight. And now you just upsold a customer to become a brand partner. All right. Pretty cool so far. So I know when I verbalize this, I just wanted to give you some mental steps so you can start to see how this works. Question here. Don't worry about all the details. You're like, I got to review it. Yeah, you'll learn as through the do, right? But who here, honestly, you have a better clarity and vision, how you can see how someone can get started here, launch, and actually start making money. Can you guys see that? There's a clear path. It's just like, boom, let's go. All right. So with that, what's the target? Well, we do have some goals. I want to end us with some overview. We have what we call our 6-figure blueprint here. This last year, we have helped multiple teammates, no joke, hit 6 figures within 6 months. Some do it slower, some do it faster. Hey, if it took you 6 years to make an extra 10,000 a month, and that can be recurring income, is that worth it? Better retirement plan than anything else I know. But we have seen people do this relatively quickly too. How? We have a whole system that there's a couple of marks that you want to go for, a couple of simple goals. Okay. So number 1, aim to sell 3 products as soon as possible. Many of you already done this. If you already gotten at least 3 customers here, put a 3 in the comments, by the way. Like, you guys are awesome. Yeah. I mean, this is just too simple, right? This is also in the boards as well, too. So you'll have access to all this information. But the second one is ultimate. This is huge. I'm sure, Gail, I know we're new best friends, but I'm pretty sure if I was in charge of your paycheck, as good friends as we are, if I came to you and I went to your paycheck and I just slashed it in half randomly, I'm like, you wouldn't mind, right? I'm just going to take half your paycheck. We probably wouldn't be as good of friends. Like, what are you doing? That's mine. Well, if you aren't ultimate, you are essentially slashing your own paycheck in half. Because once you're ultimate, every single sale you make to a new customer or a partner, you don't get the double bonus that you can have when you're ultimate. Okay. That's how we make it a goal. You want it as quickly as possible. We said we're within your first 4 Fridays. If you're past that, no worries, and we figured it out, but aim as quickly as possible to get to ultimate. How do you get to ultimate? Ultimate is 1,500 points. Whether you buy it, some people like to buy 10 packs, 30 packs of the drops, and they resell them themselves, for example. You can make a lot of money that way. Some people want a lot of product for their household. How about you? But if you come to my house, I got Partner Onboarding products everywhere, and we're all using it anyway. I'm like, I want it. And it's a tax write-off. Talk to my accountant. It's cool how that works. right? But it locks you in one-time lifetime, or you can sell it. You can buy some, you can sell some, right? It's up to you. However you want to do it, make it a goal to get to ultimate as soon as possible, because once you're there for life. All right. So as you get there, then you start to duplicate the process. And you can look at the rest of the sheet. And I want you to think now, you can earn unlimited income, but we have seen stats now on these different titles that there's average earnings on these titles. Question, throw in the chat, which title would most resemble what you would ultimately want on a monthly basis from your partner co-business? Throw it in the chat. Is it manager at 1,100, director at 2,000, vice president at 3,000, officer at 6,000, senior officer at 14,000? And there's more, right? Yeah, Pam said CEO. There's more money to be made for sure. There's people that are doing 7 figures a year for sure. So wherever it is, keep these in mind. And how do you get them? The way to get these is simply help those at the steps before. So if you want to go like manager, you help 2 people go ultimate. If you want to go director, help 2 people go manager. If you want to go vice president, help 2 people go direct, like so on and so forth. All right. Shauna Carroll, there is no doubt in my mind, you will be a senior officer in the next, I mean, I was going to say 90 days. I feel like it could be sooner. No joke. At the rate you're going, it's right around the corner. All right. So this works, but keep that in mind. But that's why if we want to get to here as soon as possible, question, let's say your first goal is ultimate and your goal was officer. Your goal was senior officer. Question, how quickly do you think an officer or a senior officer would knock out ultimate? Do you guys think they would take a long time, or do you think they do it as soon as possible? What do you guys think? A or B? Long time, fast, right? They go fast. Success loves speed. And this is my last note. Launching your business, getting your first goals, getting through these. If you are in a hurry to get to where you want to get to, bulldoze through these things, face the fear, do it anyway. Launch your post, do the engagement sandwich, go through the onboarding, plug in, do it messy, right? Don't worry, get help, but aim to do this as quickly as you possibly can. It's just you against you, because you're setting a pace for those that come after you. And by the way, you can always reset your pace. If you're like, you know what, James, I just been kind of taking my time up until now, it's all good. Sister, brother, today is your time to be able to take it to a whole other level. All right. Last announcement. We have one more cool thing for you guys as well too. Thursdays, we actually do a live prospect presentation. These are in all of our prospect groups, but these are where you can bring your prospects to actually get presented to by some of our best. This Thursday evening, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We put them all on replay as well too, of course. But we have a live Zoom with Cindy and Lindsay, who we've been talking about, who invented a lot of the system. And they know how to sell. They know how to enroll. They know how to get your people fired up. So here's the last challenge for you. If you really want to launch your business here, okay, who here is here because you really want to launch? You want to go boom, like let's go just bring 10 people onto this call. Bring 10 people onto this call. Okay. Aim to do that. If you do that, I'm telling you, you're going to see how your people are going to come on board fired up, not just buying, but they're going to join and they're going to launch with you. You're going to have your hair on fire and their hair is going to be on fire, and things are just going to move and groove. All right. So we have this nice little flow as it continues to go through. And other than that, if you like this, by the way, who here picked up some cool details today? Like you're like, wow, this was nice. This was awesome. I learned a lot. I hope you did. I'm telling you, we have the best systems in the world. If you like this, I also do want to invite you to the top money earners, the Shauna Carrolls, the Gina Hallmark, who is the top performer in all of Partner Co in North America for the full February challenge. You know what they're doing? They're plugging into this daily accountability coaching call called the income producing activity call. Selena was on earlier today. It's great seeing her on. Every day, every morning, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. And we have a call where all of our leaders gather together, everyone sharing. It's the same link as what you're on right now. And you get to literally hear what people are doing. It's encouraging, it's inspiring, it's impactful. I'd highly encourage you can tune into that. It's also, of course, on replay on the Champions Network YouTube as well, too. And I'm telling you, your life will be changed. It's going to be amazing. All right. Other than that, everyone, let's go launch your business. If you need help, let us know. Talk to your mentors, talk to your coaches, and we'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Feel free to mute yourself. Have a great evening. I'm going to go catch my flight soon. We'll see you soon. I'll see you, Lucy.
Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Thanks, James. Have a great